Hello everybody and welcome to more Overwatch 2 here. It is ECAC week number 3. Post-University taking on ECPI today. It's been a little bit of a rough start for this Post-University squad. They are currently sitting in 0-2. Looking for their first map win tonight, and hopefully we can get a match win as well. So, excited to see what they've got in store of us. They've played great so far. I really like what I've seen. Just haven't been able to notch that win. There have been many close games. So, we're about ready to get things started here. It is going to be Antarctic Peninsula first. Post-University Eagles going to be on the left in the yellow. ECPI Rams in the red on the right. To start things out, we got PapaGeppeto back as we usually do on the Sigma. This post-University squad, both teams really do seem to enjoy playing the Sigma. So, like that, they're going with what works. Torero pushing up pretty aggressively, though. We do have a pause. Looks like it's going to be taken care of relatively quickly, though. But yeah, Torero going up a little bit aggressive. Not going to be punished for it. And now, we're going to see this fight break off over here on the coast. Yomo going to be stopped by the wall. Beautifully done by Vero. The one, the veteran on the squad. Everybody else on this team, this is going to be their first year on it. Everybody from ECPI getting pushed back pretty aggressively. In the meantime, it is going to be Vero on point, who is capping for Post-University Eagles. So now that they've got that down, all they need to do is survive as long as they can. Of course, they're hoping to survive the whole fight. Gonna have the rest coming in from Herbalburner now, but a big anti-nade coming out from Earthskin is gonna cause problems. That in Zero Dark Matt doing a lot of work here for the ECPI Rams, but PapaGeppeto staying alive, keeping control of the point right now, fighting breaking out in this back corner. Herbalburner does go down. Minty follows right afterwards, so will be a mercy for a mercy. But again, Post-University has control over this. PapaGeppeto looks like they are not going to let go of this point for anything. Torero does eventually go down, but Vero putting a lot of pressure now into the Sigma. It's going to be a lot of shields gotten from PapaGeppeto, but will eventually go down, so the point does flip over to ECPI. But wonderful first fight, wonderful first possession by the Post-University Eagles. And to top it off, Vero as well, she's got her Blizzard ready to go. So this could be a pretty impactful fight here. Pretty positive for the Post-University Eagles. Of course, they're going to have to make sure Zero Dark Matt is going to eat that Blizzard on the high ground. But at this point, PapaGeppeto try to put some pressure up there. They've already got Bastion in the turret form and soon to be out of it. So that means the go button will be pushed here relatively quickly by the Post-University Eagles. They're actually going to flank through the backside of point. Just going to allow them to be funneled in, and thus the anti-nade does hit pretty well. But Earthskin Shadow Captain going to go down. We're also going to get a huge gravitic flux on the tail end of that Blizzard. It's going to come out from both Sigmas. Eventually, though, the fight does go the way of the Rams, despite a couple of early picks for the Post-University Eagles. And that was definitely a problem that we saw last week with this squad. So hopefully they can get that under control. We do see PapaGeppeto swapping over now to the Orisa. The Orisa is going to be able to sustain a little bit longer on point. They're going to be able to fight a little bit longer on point rather than with the Sigma. So this could be a nice switch. In addition, we do have ultimate from Jojo. She's ready to go with hers, as well as the tac visor from Torero, who again pushing a little aggressively, kind of telegraphed that movement there for the Rams. PapaGeppeto opting instead to go back main. Torero once again over there, little ahead. It's going to be a nice fortify there from PapaGeppeto to keep things under control. A lot of damage going into Shadow Captain, but the pocket from the Mercy is going to be too strong, especially a Valking Mercy. So things were looking good here. We're going to get the res, though, on the PapaGeppeto. That's huge, but nobody able to touch the point. So first point goes to ECPI, goes to the Rams, but a great showing from Post-University.
0-1. Ready for battle.
Let's move on to our next control point. I see a couple changes made here. Vero actually going over to the Reaper. That'll certainly help put a lot of pressure onto Zero Dark Matt if that's going to stick. A lot of high ground control needs to be maintained on this point. But Brawl's still going to be the name of the game 9 times out of 10 when we do see this point. So, Torrero's opted to match the Bastion now. So I'll be curious to see how this works up against Shadow Captain, who honestly felt like wasn't getting too terribly much value outside of zoning, right? Just making sure that Post University stayed away from whatever sight lines Shadow Captain had control of. I like this positioning initially from Post University. This is the way that you want to approach this map. So having the high ground here signals some really good things. Shadow Captain actually going to be picked off pretty easily. Nobody there to pocket him. So that's going to be a nice pickup here for Post. Torero absolutely on fire now. Gets the pick on the Mercy. Erdskin now is the person they've got their sights set on. They almost go down, but they're able to survive by the skin of their teeth. And after chasing down the Anna, chasing down the Grandma, point does flip over once again to Post. So, can Post maintain this point this time? They do a great job of winning these early opening fights. I like what they're doing in the neutral. The question is, can they maintain this throughout the rest of the map? Big pick there from Vero as well. They're going to go for the res. But in the meantime, unfortunately, Vero is going to be picked off. So now ECPI, the Rams have a nice opportunity here, and especially with Yomo up here in the high ground. Oh, going to be taken out by Torero, though, right as they say that. So now some pressure being put on the point here by Zero Dark Matt, but they're down a hero already. That turret doing a lot of healing as well for Post University Eagles. A nice shield thrown pretty far forward. That's going to force Erskine to move in front of it, take less of an advantageous position, something a little bit susceptible. Erskine does go down. It's going to be a beautiful accretion as well. Torero finishing things off with their ultimate too. Great showing from Post to keep this point alive, keep it for themselves.
Stay in range if you want my help.
So now, we're looking at a Gravitic Flux coming online for segment. We've also got the Death Blossom for Vero, in addition to Jojo's ultimate too, which could be very, very impactful. Of course, the nerfs have somewhat mitigated its usefulness, but still, if you can find a couple of heroes on the opposing team that are down low, it can be absolutely devastating. Ooh, Vero actually getting pushed out by Soldier up top. Rest of the team now going to follow. And without their fade, they're going to be taken out by a big Gravitic Flux. But 90% on the board here. Vies are going to be forced as well. So, Post University going to be feeling pretty good about that fact, right? They bled out several of the ultimates. Now, the only one they really have to worry about is this nano boost, as well as Bastion's ultimate. Both of which can be dealt with proactively. If Post University is able to get a pick onto that Anna before they can get that nano boost online, that's going to be the ideal situation here for Post University. They got a couple other tools in their tool belt now that they can work with, but in particular, my eyes are going to be on Jojo. I want to see what she's able to do with her ultimate here. PapaGeppeto moving forward now to take some space. Jojo making sure to keep the rest of their team alive. Torero already used a turret for him. Here comes the ultimate, though, from Vero. They catch one. They're able to get another one with the cleanup. 40% on the board, but it looks as though Post University is going to be able to keep this there. Shadow Captain, though, coming in with a pick. Point has flipped over in favor of Post University. That's going to do it. They pick up their first sub-map here in Antarctic Peninsula. So now we go to the tiebreaker, the final of the 3 sub-maps here. So he was going to run away with this first map.
Ready for battle.
While the maps here in Antarctic Peninsula as well, I feel that this one is the most suited to more of a brawly composition. So I don't anticipate seeing much of a change coming out. The Sigmas are swapped out, at least initially. Be curious to see if that is going to stick. PapaGeppeto opting for the Zarya, eventually switches over to the Urissa. I think that's going to be a little bit more consistent of a pick, something that the team is going to be able to rally behind and really make sure that they've got presence on point. Vero, she's back on the May as well. That's going to be mirrored, too, by the other squad. Yomo, though, instead is on the Sojourn. So, one-shot potentials are there. It's going to be curious to see how Post University exactly is going to handle this. Herbalburner back onto the Moira. I like seeing this as well. That's going to provide a lot of kind of big AoE heals on the point. Very quickly, very efficiently capture the point. As Post University. Vero takes out their doppelganger. And that's going to be a nice cleanup here as well for Post University. And it looks like ECPI doesn't want to give up the fight. And so this kind of stagger is only going to work very, very well in favor of Post University. That's probably an extra 10% on the board because just now has their tank respawned. Vero pushing up pretty aggressively, puts the wall up to make sure that she can get out of dodge without taking too much damage. Zero Dark Mat is almost back on the Zarya. His turret is down, though. But they should be able to get that back on the line before Zarya is really capable of starting to push in. Shadow Captain on this flank could be a little bit difficult to deal with. That in conjunction with Yomo with the ultimate there from Sojourn is going to cause a lot of problems. Torero goes down almost instantly, but 50% on the board. Shadow Captain not able to find a ton of value, and in the meantime, that's going to leave Vero free enough to get a pick of her own. Blizzard thrown out as well. One bubble has to be used by Zarya to try and get out. That's going to be a nice icicle coming out from Vero, but she's taking a lot of damage now, forced to use the ice block. So now PapaGeppeto doing everything they can do to hold on to this point. They go down low, but the sustain is there. The heals are there. And with that, they're going to be able to win this next fight, too. Now, we're into one fight territory. Last fight territory here for the Eagles. Yomo backing out as quick as they can. They recognize that they're going to have to make sure that they are grouped up and ready for this final fight because this is their only chance to come back in this and to take the point. Jojo has her ultimate ready to go. Here it comes. They've gone ahead and popped it. They're doing it on the back as well of Bastion's. Huge pull coming out there as well for PapaGeppeto. They use that trifecta of ultimates absolutely beautifully to tremendous effect. There is next to nothing ECPI the Rams can do. And the Post University Eagles pick up their first map. Zero Dark Matter is going to come away with the play of the game. A lot of great stuff coming out from them, but it's not going to be enough to swing the tide here. Take it away from Post. So now they have an opportunity to make some progress off the back of that first win. Let's see if they can keep up this momentum. Now, taking it into the second one. Love what I've seen so far. While they're getting a map pick, we're going to throw it to a short break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back soon. You know it, you love it. Kings Row is where we find ourselves for map number 2. Does it get more classic than this? Your post-university Eagle is going to be starting out on defense this time. PapaGeppeto sporting the classic Sigma. We're accustomed to seeing the Monterey back on the Soldier 76, and Vero, she's opted this time for the Echo. With Herbalburner there to pocket her, it could cause a lot of issues for this ECPI squad. Zero Dark Mac actually hovering over the Diva at the moment, so that might not be exactly the kind of the kind of team composition that the post-university Eagles are expecting to see. So the way they handle this, I think, is going to tell us a lot, right? This is much more of a dive composition, so is this going to go well for them, or are they going to have to kind of make a wholesale composition swap? Because I think whichever team doesn't come away with a fight win here, we're going to see that happen in the next one. So a lot of setup actually being made here by ECPI. They're definitely taking a long time to kind of get into position. Vero trying to hold on to this high ground here. It's going to be a nice headshot to try and keep that Mercy at bay. Now, getting pushed, though, too hard. Unable to 1v3 that, but in the meantime, PapaGeppeto has found one. So a DPS for a DPS, and Herbalburner is in with the res. ECPI tries for it, but Minty is going to be taken out by PapaGeppeto to get the DMAC down, too, so that should be a pretty reasonable cleanup for post-university. My question now is, are we going to see the same composition from the Rams, or is there going to be a swap? Shout out Captain already over now to the Sojourn.
The barrier appears.
So it's definitely going to help to an extent to deal with Vero. Vero actually, I think, is going to be one of the hardest players for ECPI to deal with here. Vero, I think, is going to kind of be part of the key to making this composition work for the Eagles. That's going to be a huge trio of sticky bombs to take out Minty. 2 players down, and the res is good for Post University. They are holding on strong. About half the time already burnt off the clock. DMAC comes in too, so it's almost a lot of times more worthwhile to let that Baby Diva stay in the Baby Diva form rather than get them back to spawn. But attack vibes are going to be used to do the cleanup, and in fact, with somebody jumping on a point, that means that the Rams forces were split pretty well. It was a relatively easy cleanup for Post University. Vero still holding on to her ultimate. All that was needed that last fight was attack visor, and that might not have even been completely necessary either. That's a lot of damage coming into PapaGeppeto, though. That's already going to be problematic for them. They're really going to have to play their natural cover, play their corners very well, make sure that they're keeping the appropriate rhythm with how they need to be engaging here. Still have one bubble left, but Vero already duplicated the Zarya, pushing forward, seeing if she can get a Graviton Surge online. There's a Gravitic Flux. Turret is down now. They're almost there. A couple more seconds to go. I'm not sure if she's going to get it, but it doesn't hardly matter because all of that extra damage that was coming in, just too much to deal with. Tank was pushed so far back that the rest of ECPI pushed forward in their place. Now, though, a renewed sense of confidence coming out from the Rams, but a huge ultimate comes out from Jojo. Able to find 3-4 players. Graviton Surge does come out, but Zero Dark Matt is back in spawn. So Post University looking at a full hold here. They just have to survive this last fight, but this final fight is going to be the best opportunity for the Rams to push through. It's all going to have to be on the back of Minty and Shadow Captain. These two ultimates, in conjunction with each other, most likely are going to have to get the job done. Otherwise, Post University is looking at a phenomenal hold and potentially a pretty quick second round here on Kings Row. Yomo goes down low, forced to back up just a little bit, but already Vero and PapaGeppeto get 2 picks. Shadow Captain waited too long. Minty waited too long. They needed to push Q. They needed to get these ultimates out online because Torero's not going to wait. The attack visor is in. 5 seconds left to go. Nobody anywhere close, and Post University gets a full hold on their defense for Kings Row.
Complete.
Ascending.
Score 0-0. Switching sides.
So what is going to be the Rams' answer? They don't want to go down 0-2 here. Want to keep this competitive. They don't want to get their backs against the wall and be forced to look
Ready
for a reverse sweep. Sigma-based composition. And Minty actually on the Life Weaver. I'm going to be very curious to see how this is going to work out. Xenomech actually going to back up and opt instead for the Ramatra. And I like this pick, although we haven't seen a Ramatra too terribly much recently. I feel like this kind of a situation, this kind of a scenario is one of the more ideal ones to pull out a Ramatra.
5.
Yomo, in addition, is going to be someone to watch out for, right? A lot of the defense I think here from the Rams is going to be contingent on this Ashe doing work. So already we can see them dueling away with Vero in the high ground on the Widow, looking for that head. Flick almost lands right there. Now they've got their sights set on Minty. But in the meantime, already gunned down has been Shadow Captain, so that's going to be a big opening here for Post University squad. Torero does go down. It's going to be a nice hook, though, for PapaGeppeto. Tries to get a little bit of damage on the Zero Dark Mat, but Biotic Grenade from Erskine going to keep them up. PapaGeppeto does actually eat a sleep. That's going to be a nice hook trying to pull in Matt, but Yomo does take Vero out of the sky. That's definitely going to be a point of contention there for Post University. Almost a minute off the clock. Oh, big hook coming out from PapaGeppeto, unable to quite get, though, the kill confirmed. So now looking to see if they can find Earthskin. That's going to be a quick hook. Takes them down low, but not able to quite get the finishing touches. Doesn't matter, though, because the DPS is there to take care of business. Bob has been committed. Can Torero gun them down? Vero now with that focusing beam finds one. All they need is one take. It's just Minty left on the point. They're going to be gunned down, and Post University goes up 2-0 here in week 3 of the ECAC.
play of the game.
So the DPS duo has been doing a phenomenal job here this week. I love what I've seen out of them. The coordination as well that we've seen too from Post University, I think it's a big difference. I think they watched their videos, they took some time, they've been grinding, and I love the results that we're seeing. We're going to throw it to another break here. I believe this is going to be the 5 minutes for the players to get some water, get up and stretch, do whatever they need to do. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back soon. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the match. 2-0 is the score. Post University currently up. Rialto is where the Rams hope to turn things around. Once again, going to be Post University on the defense to start things out. Vero takes to the sky, this time with a Farah. We're raining down some rockets. Possibly some concussive blasts, looking for maybe an environmental kill or two.
It's about to get real.
Herbalburner, of course, going to be the pocket once again. Keeping that far in the sky, keeping the damage boost up.
Attackers incoming.
Keeping her alive.
Enhancing your strength.
Stop the payload.
And Zero Dark Mat, again, opting for the Ramattra. Herbalburner has to drop down temporarily to make sure the rest of their team stays alive. Unfortunately, unable to get to Vero because of it. Looking to see if maybe she can squeak over there to get the res, but it's going to be dicey. She almost gets there in time, but it's going to be Yomo who climbs the wall. Puts a log in her head, and now, behind the blazing guns of Shadow Captain, progress is being made here by ECPI. Fortunately, Herbalburner going to be able to get back to the fight relatively quickly, but in the meantime, Yomo's continuing to put on the pain. And unfortunately, Post University didn't quite back up quick enough, so now they're going to be caught in a very tough position here. PapaGeppeto is going to be respawning pretty late. It's going to be up to the rest of the squad to try and hold off here, see if they can keep the payload from capping, as PapaGeppeto almost back to the point, but this might be all that they can do. Payload will capture. Immortality Field comes out to try and keep PapaGeppeto up as they try to get something going here. Torero does, on the flank, find Shadow Captain. They don't know that Torero is there. Torero just free to fire from below. That is until Yomo finds him. Yomo just coming alive here on the Hanzo right now. Nice spear there from PapaGeppeto. Takes him down to 15 right before they're taken out. And I swear, this is like an observer curse here today. Whoever I am locked on dies right after that. So, Vero comes out with the Bastion duplicate. PapaGeppeto in big Terror Surge, gonna find one, despite Minty going ahead and using the Valkyrie. Not even Zero Dark Mat's Annihilation was gonna be enough to punch through all of the healing coming in. Now both of the DPS kind of split, so this is an opportunity here. Post University can decide which one they want to focus. They could get an early advantage here on this fight, but Torero gonna have the overclock ready to go. Gonna be looking to this to provide a lot of value, provide a lot of damage. Here we go. We're gonna go ahead and see it come on up. The sound barrier is there from Earthskin, trying to keep their team alive. The rail almost does what it needs to do. That's gonna be a nice pick there, but Herbalburner is down as well. Shadow Captain drops onto one of the gondolas, but that's not going to be where they want to be. Minty goes for the res, is able to get Earthskin back up. But this almost seems like just a slow burn to death and annihilation here for ECPI. PapaGeppeto now able to just sustain, able to just stay on card through thick and thin. Everybody trying to put some pressure into them. Vero does eventually go down. Yomo finds another head. They're not a head this time. That's going to be a body shot taking down Vero, but the res is there. Herbalburner has done a great job making sure that their teammates stays up, and if they don't stay up, they come back. But now, that's going to be a big pick. Yomo coming alive once again. The res is there. The Dragon's going to be thrown out to see if they can clear everybody away, because now the heals won't be there for PapaGeppeto, as Jojo had to back off. Ooh, Yomo's gonna find the exit pick as well. Yomo, where has Yomo been this entire game? Yomo is absolutely crushing it right now on the Hanzo. Gets PapaGeppeto down very low as well. Shadow Captain tries to buy a little bit more space with her ultimate too. There's gonna be four of them coming online here though for Post University, but they need to put a stop to what's happening right now. There's going to be another sound barrier forced out by PapaGeppeto. Here comes the Annihilation now. That's going to take out two almost immediately. Now that the ball is rolling here for ECPI, Most universities having a hard time dealing with it, but this could be a moment for them to catch their breath. Because all of the ultimates have now been expended. It's just going to be Yomo who gets theirs online first. So if Vero can find a nice duplication here, this could end very well for them. Zero Dark Mat trying to mitigate as much damage coming out from that bastion as they can. Shadowcat almost goes down. PapaGeppeto going to be able to finish them off. Vero finds Yomo, doesn't even need to use the duplicate with with an advantage of 2 players to be able to put this away. The rest does come out. So Shadow Captain's back. Once again, Post University just unable to get these kills that they needed. Now Jojo's gonna pop the amplification matrix, seeing if they can get something done here. Torero just about ready to use that tank configuration again, but unfortunately the window is down, the window is gone, so they're not going to be able to use it in conjunction with that. And they're going to try and slow down their roll just a little bit. Erskine almost goes down. That's going to force out the Valkyrie from Minty as well. Now Torero has their ultimate again, the duplication online once again for Vero. 2.5 minutes left to go. Here comes the first ultimate. Looking for an opportunity to duplicate right here. Vero might want to do it relatively soon as they are running out of some of their utility. Looking to see if they can get this pick onto the Lucio though first, but the sound barrier comes in time, but is it going to be enough? The focusing beam, tremendous damage coming out, and Post University will be able to hold on, and Vero miraculously able to keep their ultimate, and in fact punish Shadow Captain for trying to use theirs as well. And he goes for the res. That's gonna buy a little bit of time here, but unfortunately for them, it's not going to end well. I say it's gonna buy a little time. For them, the them ended up being Post University that the time was bought for.
Stay alive for me.
Couple of pretty big ultimates here. If you can use this Annihilation in conjunction with the Dragon Strike in order to kind of zone the team into wherever Zero Dark Mat wants to go, this could be devastating. Look at this flank that we've got coming on from Yomo. Tries to get the Dragon Strike in the back line, but Torero is going to be wise to it. A couple of picks, though, come in from Shadow Captain. Is it going to be enough? Because right now, the Annihilation doing a lot of work here from Zero Dark Mat, but Torero down. Post University forced to back off. PapaGeppeto does fall. Minute left to go here. Jojo trying to stay alive. At the same time, able to take off Zero Dark Mat with the help of Vero, who has come back into the fray. The focusing beam does some work. The res is in, and Post University is stabilized. We're entering final fight territory here. The Rams want to make it through here. They're going to have to do it now. The Orisa going to be the duplication target. Unable to get a whole lot of charge, though, just yet. Looking for that opportunity. But instead, they're taken out of the duplication, but not before Torero is able to finish off one of the members of ECPI. The Sticky Bombs again doing a lot of good work. Gravitic Flux is going to be a whiff from PapaGeppeto. But it hardly matters because I don't think anybody's going to be able to touch. And Post University gets a hold on third in Rialto. Sound barrier at the end from Erskine reminds me that Erskine actually had some amazing sound barriers. I do really have to commend them. They were able to stay alive in some situations where I really didn't think they were going to be able to. And yeah, the sound barrier certainly coming in clutch. So now the question is, can Post University put it away here? Can they find victory on Rialto? That golden box of victory going to be somewhere around here. I believe once we see the spawn doors open up.
Ready for battle.
So, they have their work cut out from them, but they made it look relatively easy so far. Although, in this past map, the Rams did seem to find a solution potentially to what Post University has been doing so far. Zero Dark Matt is back onto the the Sigma. Shadow Captain on the Bastion. We're gonna have double hit scan here. We're taking a pretty aggressive position there at the start, but now falling back a little bit.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Vero's gonna have a tough time here. They're really gonna have to rely on Torero, I believe, to put a lot of pressure on a couple of these hit scans. Otherwise, it's gonna be real tough for them on the Echo, especially considering that Herbalburner right now is showing the Moira.
Actuating the barrier.
Got word that somebody was on the flank, so now Yomo taking this high ground approach. Trying to rain down a little bit of damage. A lot of post universities, they try to get through this first corner. Immortality field already has to be used by Jojo, so she's not going to have that for the next little bit of the fight. But a lot of damage already being put out, honestly, by Jojo. Jojo is doing a phenomenal amount of work here, both in healing and DPS for the squad. Minty's going to be the first to go down. Vero is proving just a thorn in everyone's side here for ECPI. The Immortality field is back, and it's a good thing because so many members of the Eagles went down low. Yomo somewhere in the back line saw them flanking, but don't know what's happened to them. Probably just running for their life at this point. It looks like Vero and Torero may be hot on their trail. We're going to catch up with them, see if we can find them. And sure enough, yeah, this is going to be where Yomo ducked out to, tucked tail, and ran. So at this point, though, Zero Dark Matt not going to have an opportunity to contest this. Both of these teams, it looks like, are going to get the first point uncontested. Just a one fight. No! In fact, Zero Dark Matt gets back in time. So, gonna have to use another fight. The attack visor gonna be the first thing used. Gonna find one pick with it, but it's not gonna be enough because Minty will get the res out. And now Post University is in a difficult position because Zero Dark Matt has very, very high charge at this point. Post University just can't push through. Vero going down very low as well. 3 ultimates, though, online here. Just the attack visor that's been used so far, so there's an opportunity for Post University to push through. We're going to get the duplicate coming out from Vero. Pushing forward pretty aggressively with that Zarya, seeing what they can do. They do get the point captured by simple sheer force. Just brute forcing their way through that. Minty does get the res out. Here comes Yomo with attack visor, but it's not going to be enough. The res, again, in from Minty, but this, more than anything, is just going to stagger ECPI and give over a significant amount of ult charge to Post University. So, Post should be able to take this second corner here. This high ground right here along these stairs, certainly going to be a point that both these teams are going to want to control. And we can already see that Jojo, she's making her way around there. She has the amplification matrix too, ready to go. Post University, though, didn't really take control of that high ground, so now Yomo's going to be free up here, though, to kind of do what they want. It's going to be a pretty advantageous position, but Torero was aware of it and able to get them, actually, from the low ground, which is big. Minty going up now, trying to see if they can get the res. Forced to duck and dodge, though, away, but Vero is not going to give them any mercy, going to show them no quarter, and despite the Graviton Surge landing, Post University is able to push through, and now 73 meters separate them from victory, not only here on Rialto, but in this entire series. Their first of the season. They're hungry for it. They want it right here, right now. And it would be a phenomenal birthday present for PapaGeppeto. Celebrating today. Couldn't ask for anything more than a big win here. PapaGeppeto pushing forward now. Got a couple of tanks on board. We're back in Overwatch 1 territory as Vero is causing havoc in the back line. Are they going to be able to do anything? Not quite. They're going to be forced to switch back to their non-duplicated natural state. That's going to be a big tack visor through the window now, courtesy of Torero. 3 are gunned down immediately. But that's a huge pair of picks coming out from Shadow Captain. Vero gets 1. This is going to be enough. Shadow Captain finds another. And now Post University takes the win on Rialto, making it 3-0 on the night.
Double kill.
Giving them their first win of the season. That has got to be such a boost of confidence for the squad, who has played, again, very well so far this season. It all came together here today, though. And oh yeah, one more time with this tac buster through the through the amp matrix. I mean, people just melt. Absolutely melted. So, congratulations once again to everybody. Again, happy birthday to PapaGeppeto. Hope you enjoyed it. And as well, wanted me to make sure that I plug this. Be sure to follow PapaGeppeto on Twitch for any and all Overwatch gameplay. GG's. See y'all next time.